Alright, so we are looking at another round of our microgreens experiments here. As I mentioned previously, what I've basically done here is change the methodology, and today is the day to uncover the wheatgrass, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with that and just do a quick look here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncover the wheatgrass and then recover the sunflower underneath it, and then we're going to take a look at the wheatgrass. So this is how I'm going to do it. That's coming off. Oh, look at that. So this is interesting. Lots of mold on my sunflower there, which is quite interesting. I am going to give this a spray with water. That's why I love doing stuff live, so you can deal with the unexpected. This is actually just a magnesium salt mix, which seems to actually help. But this means I overwatered my tray. But I can see I've actually still got pretty good germination here. One of the reasons often why this happens is too much, a combination of too much water and too much heat. So I've sprayed some of that stuff down. Germination is pretty consistent, and I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to move this over to here. And then I'm going to put that back under. And I've turned my heating mat off. And let's hope we get some recovery with that one. So now what we're going to do is take a quick look at the wheatgrass. So I talked about changing the methodology. And one of the things I did was I switched over from doing individual cell packs to doing this in just a regular 10-20 tray. I had a dividing strip in the middle, which I removed so it didn't get in the way of germination. And there are small strips dividing each of the cell packs here. So my guess is you can probably barely tell. Like, you can see there, but you can see that it's pretty consistent growth throughout the tray. You can just see the strip down the middle, but the individual lines going horizontally are quite difficult to see. So this tells me that this is probably a better method, that I'm going to get really good coverage with the seeding, and so it's much more going to represent what a real growth situation would look like. Now I'm just doing, I do my first analysis right away, sort of on like a 1 to 5 rating on what vigor looks like and what germination looks like. And I can tell you right now that everything here looks like it's germinated and is equally vigorous. It's very consistent, which is exactly what we want, and exactly what we would expect in the beginning. I wouldn't expect seeding rate to affect early stage growth like this. Where I expect seeding rate to make a difference is as the crop grows up and there's more competition for both light and for rooting space. And because rooting space is much more limited in a shallow tray, that's one of the main reasons we did the shift over from the deep cell packs to the shallow trays. So this is almost exactly like we would be doing our growing for commercial production. So a little bit of seed I could see sort of got moved into the middle here. So I just need to be really, really careful when I'm doing my harvest evaluations and whatnot to make sure I'm measuring that accurately. Now I'm not going to do, I'll do just a general photo at this point, but at this point now I'm just in my growth stage. So now what I'll do is this crop will go under the lights and it'll do its thing. I will do some pictures from throughout the life cycle. What I want is for the greens to get a little taller. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the cell packs. I'm going to cut out the bottom, and when I take the picture from above, I'm going to sort of cup everything together and put that cell pack over top so everything stays contained. So the reason I want to do that is because the reason for that photo above is to get a sense of what the green coverage is like. And when I let it splay out, a lot of those were going beyond the field of the camera, and that made it sort of difficult and inconsistent and really a tough measure. So as long as I do this consistency, I think that method might work at all stages, where I just sort of cup everything in and then we can see what the coverage looks like. So we'll try that out and see if it works. But so far I'm really liking the results of this new methodology. Things are looking very even right now, so now we can kind of start keeping an eye out for differences in growth, which I don't think we're going to see at this early stage, but we'll be looking at it on a daily basis. So that's the uncovering of our wheatgrass. We got a glimpse of our sunflower, which is a bit troubling. Once again, probably a little bit of overwatering there. And I could actually, that sunflower had germinated enough that I could uncover it and it would continue to put on growth. What I might do with that is actually give it a hydrogen peroxide spray, um, uh, increase airflow around here and keep it covered for one more day because tomorrow is its scheduled uncovering day and I want to try to keep that on track. So always some interesting things that come up, but that's why we do these experiments, to get a better sense of all the things that can happen during growth. So that's the uncovering of our wheatgrass, a look at our sunflower, and I'll check in later in the week with more updates on other stuff.